everybody. We are at the fifth and final session of our career reinvention program. And today is about entrepreneurship in this session titled Ideas to Reality. I would invite Sushma to open the session, and then we'll move on to introducing our trainer for today.
Sushma or Sudha?
Sushma? You want
Okay. I'll just be very brief. Just give me 1 second. Hi, greetings everyone. Sorry for that little glitch here. Just wanted to say a couple of things. As the world of employment changes and all of us gather more and more experience and are ready to adopt a portfolio career, many of us, including myself, have wanted to give expression to the entrepreneur in us. Okay. I believe that everybody has an entrepreneurial quotient. But most of us are afraid to take that step. There is fear. Okay. And most of all, there is a fear of failure. And let me just tell you that the fundamental principle of entrepreneurship is this: try. Try. If you fail, chances are most of us will. No one will succeed in the first attempt. Of course, there are exceptions. The key to entrepreneurship is giving a route to your imagination, having the ability to influence people, and making a difference. And we at Second Careers want to help you on this entrepreneurial journey by giving you a supporting hand, by providing advice, and potentially in the future, not right now, we might even run our own accelerator, but that isn't the time to come. With this, let me hand it back to Jubi and Sudha.
Hey, thanks, Sushma. Sudha, yeah, please take it over.
Yeah. I think, yes, the chances of failure are high, but every failure also comes with lessons, and we should not lose the lesson. To help synthesize the lessons across many, many entrepreneurial journeys that he's been not just watching on the sidelines, but actively enabling for more than a couple of decades now, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Madhuban Pandey, co-founder and COO of SCORE Foundation. Madhubanji has a PGP in entrepreneurship from XLRI, has worked with organizations like Development Alternatives, seen entrepreneurship at the front lines, small businesses, large businesses, startups, and has built his own points of view on what does it take to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. I met him in March earlier in a similar context and was quite taken in by the depth of his insights. And we thought he'd be a great person to bring into a safe space conversation like this for women who might be thinking beyond jobs as they think about second careers. Over to you, Mr. Pandey, to lead the session. And I hope make the most of this opportunity to interact, ask questions along the way. Just keep it extremely you-centric, right? It is intended for you. So make sure that all your questions get answered, and you make the most out of the time we have with Mr. Pandey today. Over to you, Madhubanji.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shudha-ji, and thanks to Sushma-ji also. I think the context is very well set. Very good evening, all the participants. May I request all the participants to please arrange a pen and paper, please, for yourself. And Pratham, you can put the slides also. Hello, participants. Can you have the pen and paper, please, for yourself? Great. Wow. So thumbs up. Thank you very much. And as Sushma ji had said, the first fear of failure is very important. And I keeps on saying, if you want to get fail early, because as Sudhaji had said, the failure will comes with an experiences, and later on we will be able to build upon that. Before I begin, I want to challenge a belief that many women uh, carry when they think about uh, restarting their career, and even if they are working, when it comes to starting something of their own, most of us you would have already thought of. I had been away from the work too long, right? That is one perception which comes. The world had really changed. I am into 9 to 5 jobs, not able to think and visualize. I really want to get into it, but I'm not in position to getting time to think and build something, right? I don't know where to start. That also questions comes in most of the time, and maybe I would have started earlier. So when it comes to starting something of our own, we keeps on getting such questions, such thought comes. But today I want to bring a very different perspective. You are not just starting from zero. Uh, we have to keep that in mind. You are having a wealth of experiences, a wealth of wisdom you had already created. You had spent a decade or more than that in different kind of relationships. So that's also very, very important. And you are also understanding the real time problems, getting along with the real time problems. And believe me, like these are the areas where the enterprises are created, whether it's like social enterprises or the commercial enterprises, right? Any business are the enterprises. So with that, Pratham, if you can just, at your chat box, we are putting up one question, and I'll request if you can just use the link and put up thoughts where you stand as on today in terms of your business, in terms of your idea. So, Pratham, please put the questions. Please could put the link at the chat box. Kiranji, you got the link at the chat box? It's simply a Google form. You just click on that, you will get one question, and you can just capture your respond on that. If anyone has any problem on that account, please let us know. You have to just, yeah.
Yeah, I was commenting on the same chat. It's not editable.
You have to just,
It is, it is. Yeah, I was able to submit, yes.
yeah.
So question, are others able to click the link and submit responses?
Yes,
Yes,
Niranjan
yes.
saying yes. Vidya is also
Okay,
saying yes.
thanks.
Great. Pratham, maybe you can just capture the response and put it on the screen. Great. So yeah, just put it here. Perfect. Put it at the full screen, Pratham. Great. So thank you very much for your response. Like as high as 38% is saying, I want to create impact, right? So that is the one. 23% are saying like I'm exploring possibilities, and I think it's 19%. Like people are saying I have an idea but don't know how to get it shaped, and then also like I want to start something but don't know where to start. So I think this is perfectly fine, and in any entrepreneurial journey, this is how it goes. It starts with a confusion, and then with our careful actions we start getting ideas and thoughts to put things together. Next, Pratham. So today's session is not about just writing the business plan. It's all about discovering how your experiences, your knowledge, your skills can be put together in terms of converting like a viable income generation activities, a viable idea, whether it's in the form of an enterprise, a business, or a social enterprise, right? So that's where we are going to talk today. The topic is idea to reality, how we can build our own idea and how we can convert it into possible businesses. So next, Pratham. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. So here we are going to talk three things in say 80, 90 minutes or so. First, we will look at the what are the social problems, because the kind of background you are coming for, like we are looking at both the aspects. One is the social enterprises, and also maybe we will certainly talk about the uh, commercial enterprises. So one important is whether it's a social enterprise are the full-fledged business, are the commercial enterprise. The first important aspects, what is the bigger problem we are trying to solve through our entrepreneurial acumen, are the opportunities. And the second, how we can convert that into an enterprise or a practice. Practice means if you want to become a consultant, you want to become a trainer, you want to start something of your own. So what sort of problems you can look into to solve and convert that into a viable business or an enterprise. And last but not least, it's very important to communicate about the business to the market effectively. So broadly, these are the three aspects we are going to talk about in today's session. We'll use the very simple terminology, simple cases, examples, and easy to understand. And in case there are any questions, any clarifications, you can stop me any moment of time, but we'll try to make it interactive as much as possible. Next, Pratham. Right. So it has five part. So the first part is all about from your own experiences to the opportunities. You are sitting on a wealth of experiences, a decade or more than that. And in this time, whatever knowledge, experiences, wisdom you had created, build together, how we can convert that into an opportunity, right? Because it's very important from the to taking that transition and building a viable business. So in the first part, we are going to talk about that. Yeah. Right. So in whatever personal, professional experiences you are having, I'm assuming in the last 8 to 10 years, what professional or personal are the experience has shaped you the most over the last 8 to 10 years? Hope the question is very clear. What sort of personal or the professional or your own life experiences has shaped you as an individual in the last 8 to 10 years? So that is the question. And then again, I'll request Pratham to just put the link at the chat box, and link is already there. You can just open the link and submit your response, and then we'll look into the responses. Hope the link is working. Kiranji, could you open the link? Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Juby also said, yeah, great. Pratham, I think everyone would have done that. So may I request you to just please put in the second slide, take the response and put it at the second slide, please. Great. So I think what is coming as maximum is the corporate career, because uh, you people come from that, but also we have fairly a good response in terms of motherhood, managing household systems. So and then own money management related customer service and travel has also contributed, caregiving and the education. But as high as the good percentage, 13 people are talking about the career, corporate career. So that's really great insights. It means over 8 to 10 years, we had built ourselves working for some company, some organization. But I think now you have participated in this program. It seems like now you are willing or looking forward starting something of your own with the knowledge, wisdom, experiences you had already gained. Very wonderful and good to see these responses. Next, Pratham. Yeah. Great. So if we will look at how the enterprises are created, any businesses are created. It's created on the basis of the experiences the people are having already, right? As the majority of you had already said, your personality, you as a person has built based on your experiences. Also, the enterprises are created based on the struggle, the problem they see in the market, right? Also the opportunities. So I largely talk about enterprises are created on two aspects to solve the problem in the market or capitalize on the opportunities in the market, right? And then what people keeps on are observing on day-to-day basis at the household level, community level, and then the professional expertise they have built. So these are the 5, 6 areas. If you will look at any of the entrepreneurs when they started restarted their second career, started any sort of enterprises, then these are some of the pointers. And again, going back to the previous question, I think all of you have good experiences you are already living with. But at the same time, it's also important to observe the entire ecosystem from the personal struggle perspective, the considering the opportunities in the market, the problems which is coming about. So these are some of the thoughts and ideas how any enterprises or the businesses are created. So the businesses are created not for the entrepreneurs, but to solve the market problems, right? So that is the perspective we have to keep in mind. But the reality is that people rarely start with a business, right? They start with a problem worth solving. So it's very important to look at the what is the problem, how I'm going to build that businesses. So we have to look at that aspects as a starting point. That's very, very important. Yeah, Pratham. Right. When I looked at all of you, 30 plus people in this room, all of you are bringing a very interesting three aspects of the capital. One is the human capital, your academics, your education, your professional knowledge and experiences. In this 8 to 10 year, you have built some sort of networks also. So it's very important to just visualize and understand what human capital I have built as an individual, as a person, right? At the same time, when because you had worked with some organization or the working with those organizations, in this process, a good amount of social capital has been already built upon that, right? You have a community connect, some sort of trust has been already built up. In this process, we had built some relationship. It could be the suppliers, it could be the service provider, it could be the market as a whole. And then in this process, you have your own credibility. So apart from the human capital, which is the individual as a human being, the social capital also plays a very, very important role. And to bind it together very smartly, the empathy capital from the purely social enterprise perspective, understanding the real-time challenges, issues the people are facing. So all of you are coming with these very solid, I'll say the pillar or the building block as far as thinking when you are thinking of your enterprise, visualizing having something of your own, either in the form of enterprise or consulting approach. So it's very important to look at these three aspects, and that's where the strength lies. And we have to just think upon how we can build on these aspects. So these are very important aspects. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, we become ignorant or in our 9 to 5 or low confidence, we keeps on missing what we had created over a period of time. So it's very important to look at from that perspective. Yeah, Pratham. In case anyone has any questions, you can put up those questions in the chat box. We will keep on looking those questions and will be happy to respond those questions. So in the part one, very simple, we were trying to look at how the businesses or the enterprises are created, what knowledge experiences are the network you are building as a person. When you are starting something of your own, you are already sitting on the wealth of experiences, the network, understanding the issues and challenges which the market is facing. Uh, so with that, now we will move towards the understanding the enterprise or the social enterprise. So that's where we are moving towards the part two. Yeah, Pratham. Great. So the first and for most important question for you is what is an enterprise? So if you can just think for a 30-second or a minute and put your response on the chat box, or if you want to just unmute yourself and talk about what is an enterprise, then we can look at the other aspects. Whatever is comfortable. If you want to unmute and talk, we will be happy to interact. If you feel like putting your response to the chat box, that would be also good. So very simple question. According to you, what is an enterprise?
Um, I can speak if it's okay.
Please, Vidyaji, perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very much. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was not on video. I just came back from workout, not in a
that's
position. Okay.
absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My assumption of, I mean, my understanding of enterprise is something which is in large scale, and social enterprise is something which supports a social cause, maybe education, health, or livelihood kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Vidyaji. Kiranji, would you like to just talk about your perspective? What is an enterprise? We'll come to the social enterprise later, but if we can just quickly reflect what is an enterprise. Okay, someone is saying medium to put my vision into an action. Very good. That's what Vidyaji had said. Organization with services is the another response. Anyone else would like to talk about or briefly put the perspective in the chat box? Will okay. Kiran is saying an organization that can contribute to society and help you grow your income and bring people together. Very well said, Kiranji, from the social enterprise perspectives. And also from the business perspective, like any businesses are created for the society, largely to help the people solve the problems, to contribute to the larger ecosystem. So that is the uh, like good way to put in. Anyone else would like to reflect, put it at the chat box or speak up? Uh, Fair enough. So I think with the responses we have, we got a sense of like what exactly is an enterprise. Like it's a medium to put your vision into an action, right? What we had already talked about, what sort of problems we are trying to solve through an enterprise. It could be the housing solutions. It could be the like education, it could be say healthcare, right? So if someone is building an hospital, say Fortis, Apollo, Medanta, or whatsoever, it's an enterprise, right? But the other aspects, if the cause is primarily from the social perspective and bringing the social aspects at the first and then the profitability at the second, then it's become the social enterprises, right? When the motto is just to serve the customer, earn as much as possible for the shareholder, for the investors, right? Then it becomes a commercial enterprise or a very typical business. So that's good aspects to put in. Yeah, Pratham, next. Yeah. Great. So when we talk about the social enterprises, as we know, like from the sustainable development perspective, social perspective, so it's a combination of all three, like the social, environmental, and the community as a whole, right? And what are the like challenges, what are the problem, and how we are going to solve that, right? Using our innovation, using our knowledge, wisdom, and the underlying statement is not just doing a charity, but generating a revenue to sustain and create an impact, right? So a very distinct definition between the commercial enterprises are the social enterprises. In the social enterprises, the problems belong to the society, and entrepreneurs are trying to use their knowledge, skills, innovation, wisdom to package the solutions which is solving the problems of the millions of million people as far as the country is concerned or the globe is concerned, and the problem belongs to the social environmental community as a whole. And as I said earlier, it's important to ensure the sustainability of the enterprise, right? The enterprise itself need to be sustainable, and for that having a revenue generation is very, very important. And putting it into a perspective, like the impact we are going to create and the income, these two aspects need to be intact, right? So when any of you are thinking of creating your own, say, a social enterprise, your enterprise, or start thinking of starting consulting based services, right? So income is one. When it comes to the social enterprises, then it's also important to create an impact, right? It could be a problem of few women, few society, few children, few old age people, but a country needs a replicable, sustainable model, right? If something is applicable to the southern part of India, how with some contextualization, it could be converted into a viable solutions or an enterprise and taken the similar context to the northern part of India, is start with, and still we are able to provide the solutions to the people uh, in a sustainable manner. So when it comes to the social enterprises, for us, the keyword would be the impact at one side and the income at the same side. So it has to go hand in hand. It should not be just one, because if we are not generating enough revenue, it means there is less demand in the market. And if there is less demand in the market, we will not be able to sell more, right? And from the impact perspective, our interventions would be impact oriented and creating enough impact to help the larger community solve the larger societal, environmental, or the community problems. Yeah, Pratham. There. Uh, so what social problem you see around you? May I request, as you are having the pen and paper, if you can just write what are the 5 key problems you see in and around your vicinity, in your around the community, maybe in your colony, wherever you see, you can visualize. So just may I request to just write 5 problems you see from the social aspects in and around your community. Is it doable, Vidyaji, Kiranji? Can we do that, and other participants?
Yes. Yes.
Please. Yeah. Thank you. And maybe once you are done, the participants who had not spoken so far, I'll urge at least just like, talk about what are the 3 to 5 social problem you see in and around you. Once you are done, okay, we have from Deepa income disparity, loss, okay, less education opportunities for children of migrant worker. Okay, Deepa thank you very much for putting that. So while others are putting aspects, I'm just trying to put my perspective over here. If we are taking education as a whole, right? If we can look at how the different enterprises has been built in and around education, whether it's physics wala, whether it's Akash, whether it's Lakshya, whether it's any sort of coaching facilities from the very commercial enterprising perspective, considering the demand in the market. But from the social aspects, again, the healthcare is coming up, pollution is the another one. Young children in rural areas need to take earning and household responsibility much earlier than cities. Thank you, Vaishali ji, for putting that perspective. Higher education, income generation for the people. Pollution and garbage segregation, that is the big time problems as far as cities are concerned. Kiran is also mentioning the communication skills, misreading habit, like missing reading habits of books. Very well said. That is going on because we are quite used to now the digital aspects, right? The smartphones, computer, etc. Public speaking, rural children selling things in train to support their family. Great perspective. Zero empathy. Vijay Singh, no clarity on managing generational gaps. Wow. Economic growth opportunities. Even I'm also getting a lot more ideas. I'm so happy people are putting, mm, stretching themselves in terms of imagining their thinking. Noise pollution, mental health, a great area to work on, right? Polluted lake. Yes, last week I was in Bangalore facilitating a workshop on climate for the climate leaders. It was coming a lot in terms of lakes and waters, etc. Green space, lot of loss of green space in Hyderabad also, right? Great. Water conservation, Vaishali is saying. Great. So I think we are having a good laundry list of the uh, like problems we are seeing in a day-to-day environment on our daily life, whether at home, whether when we are moving out. And believe me, like again, the problem is loss opportunities for women in smaller town. Very well said. Migration is the another problem, right? Skills gap, skills mismatch is the another problem, right? The population pressure we are having ensure a sustainable and viable livelihood opportunities for anyone and everyone is the another problem, right? If we are talking about the enterprise, the entrepreneurial ecosystem is also a problem, right? The our people's mindset and attitude, education versus the less education, skill labor, Priya Srinivasan is saying. So we every day we are looking a lot more problems in and around us. It's all about going. Are doing a little bit of deep diving on that problems and thinking how I can solve that problem using my knowledge, skills, wisdom, network connections, my resources, or if I have the ability or the capability to mobilize those resources. So I think very interesting aspects we had already talked about. Yes, Pratham, if we can move to the next slide, please. Right. So cutting long story short, I today morning I thought we can just put up a very simple formula over here. We had already talked about a lot of social problems, right? I'm not going to repeat anymore. How we can look at those social problems and build a business solutions, right? So because we are talking about the social enterprises, so moving beyond the charity, how we can build the solutions, and it should be a business solutions. If it's a business solution, then the revenue will continue and the sustainability will comes forward. So whatever we will start, once the revenue will start flowing, we will be able to do a much more better and bigger impact we will be able to create. So for me, my social enterprise formula is understanding the social problem, what I can solve. There could be hundreds and thousands of problems, but which problem is associated to me in the sense from the problem solving perspective, right? Using our own knowledge, skills, attitude, problem solving behavior, engaging the ecosystem. So what is the social problems I see, and out of that, what I can solve, and what would be our methods of solving that problem? So there would be some people who are already trying to solve that problem, but from the competition or the competitor perspective, how I am better than the other solution providers, so that my business is the self-sustainable business or bringing the business. So very simple. If you want to just mug around this formula, very simple. What is the social problem we are trying to solve, or we can solve? How we can solve that problem? What innovative methods, process, tools, technology, systems we will build, and how it is going to generate the revenue. So in a very simple and crude perspective, this is how translate. Yes, Pratham, next please. I could put these two because we had already talked about the education and the waste as two problems. In a very simple language, as far as education is concerned, the problems are lack of quality learning support. If you will go to the say Bihar, Jharkhand, maybe Bengal, maybe like across the country, we go to the government schools, we can really see the education as a big time challenge from different perspectives, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's quality, whether it's learning material, whether it's using the technology. So that is the problem. And then the solution could be affordable learning centers, right? Because government is doing whatever they can do, but as a social enterprises, how we can build, package the solutions which is affordable, because we need to create an impact and our solutions need to reach to the millions people. Then the affordability is very important, because the physics wala has already built up some sort of solutions which is already like everyone cannot afford from the entire country perspective. So the solutions under the banner of social enterprises, we are talking about affordable learning centers, right? Affordable learning materials, affordable learning tools. It could be a books, it could be a technology, it could be creating a set of volunteers across the country, each one teach one, kind of a business model. Revenue will come from the fees, subscriptions, partnership. Government might sponsor, corporate might sponsored. So how my solutions is attractive enough for the rest of the contributors in the market, where I can have enough revenue to manage my operations profitably and impact, as I said earlier, better learning outcomes for the generations, right? Same goes to the waste management perspective, poor waste segregation. We had already talked about solutions could be community recycling in an enterprise model. Like revenue could be the recycling sales. We can create a center, set up a contract, do a partnership. and then the impact would be the cleaner communities and better livelihood, better jobs, right? Better cities, smart cities, etc. So I took just these two problems and tried to just put the social enterprise perspective. What is the problems? What could be the possible solutions? How I can ensure the revenue will drive and what impact I'm going to create so that I can serve to the millions. Yes, Pratham. Right. Next question to all of you, like from the business opportunity area perspective, right? We had already talked about health is the problem, education is the problem, etc. But we will not be able to take all the problems, boil the ocean. We will not be able to move from north to south and east to west, right? We will not be able to compete the commercial solutions. So we have to think from that perspective, and I think Pratham is going to again put up a link over here. You can just visit. Link is already here. You can just visit the link and put your perspective so that we can have further deliberations on that. Can someone please confirm if the link is working? Thank you,
Yeah,
Lina
it's
ji.
working for me. Yeah.
Yeah, Lina has also confirmed. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jubi. Pratham, I think we would have already captured the responses. May I request you to put it on the screen, please? Thank you. Just put it at the full screen mode. Wow. Childcare, parenting, education and learning is at the top. Professional consulting is also a big time problem. Writing documentation is also people feel able to contribute environment and sustainability, capacity building and uh, training. Great. So I think the largest are into the education, learning, skilling is the area, health and wellness is also there, writing documentation. So we have a mix of like from the consulting, professional consulting services, which are at a higher level, are at the same time the education and learning. So I think the service-based problems we are looking at more, and we see an opportunity where we can build the businesses in and around that. Uh, Thank you very much, Pratham, for the perspective. Let's move on. Right. In the screen, if you will look at all these problems, what you had said, you see on day-to-day basis in and around your community are the opportunities you see from the opportunity perspective, the problems you see, and you can build upon those businesses. These are the just few social entrepreneurs who has created a great viable business model. Anshu Gupta, friend of mine, created Goose 2 decades back. And the sentence what you are seeing over here, they have seen the problem. So what Ansu realized, millions of people lacked access to basic clothing and essential material, while urban India generate enormous unused surplus. So the whole idea was how I can create a social enterprise, build the entire business model where I can take the excess material from the cities and provide it to the rural area. The Hari Sunday, again, great friend of ours, like he has looked at the energy problem as a whole, right? And more from the renewable energy perspectives when it could be the solar, say, almost decade and half back. So he thought how I can provide at least lighting solutions to every Indian household because that was the big challenge that time. Arvind Eye Care, I'm sure like would have already heard of him, Dr. Venkateswamy. He has created a great models, right? A very affordable, very impactful, where surgeries have been done at a scale, right? Are these two very that beautiful women, Urvashi and Willie Mora, had also seen the problems like girls from the marginalized communities, they lack the quality of education and the vulnerability and the distressed children had no way to access emergency support systems. So these are just a few examples how the people had thought of their idea. If you will look at from the all these just 5 examples and cases, you look at uh, Ansu is talking about millions, Harish is talking about millions, Venkat Swami is talking about the millions, right? So what does it say? It's like people were very passionate about those problems. They could very smartly, very strongly build those innovative solutions following their passion, building upon the problems communities at a larger we are facing and how they can serve the large number of people with their innovative solutions. So we can have a great learning from people like them who are the living legends and doing things on the ground. So these are just the from the thoughts perspective, how if you are interested, you can further read about what they have done, how they have done. So that was the whole perspective putting it here. Yes, Pratham. Now, from part one, we moved to part two, where we have understood the social enterprises, how the enterprises are created, who are the people who had already done, what is the formula for the social enterprises, right? How the impact and the revenue is making much sense when we are talking about the enterprises, social enterprises. Now moving towards the how we can think of creating our own business idea, right? So now you can use your pen and paper more and will facilitate that. So Pratham, go to next, please. Right. From the framework perspective, you can look at these four patterns like and visualize yourself as a social entrepreneur. What do I know, right? What is my knowledge? What is my skill? What is my experiences? What is my network? Who am I and how I will be able to solve the larger problems? And that's where what do people need it? Who am I and what sort of problems I'm going to solve? What are the pain point of the community? What is the need which is still not met? What are the opportunities market are having where I can capitalize with my knowledge, skills, experiences, wisdom, etc. The third is very important: what impact I can create, how many lives I can touch, how my solutions could be much more stronger in terms of reach, in terms of the revenue, in terms of bringing the ecosystem, in terms of bringing the stakeholders in totality, and what positive change I will be able to create at the community level, right? And last but not least, how it's going to be a self-sustainable or the revenue generator model. So, who is going to pay for my product or services? Whether the customer is paying, or I will be able to ask a government to pay, or the parents will pay, or some institutions will pay, or some philanthropist will pay, or individual will pay, HNIs will pay. So we have to look from that perspective. So this is the framework, very simple framework. There are different framework as well, but very simple. Again, reiterating, who am I? What is my knowledge, skills, experiences? What problems I can solve? What impact I will be able to create, and how I'm going to ensure this is becoming a viable business model. So from the framework perspective, we can just look at from this four perspective. This will certainly help us in terms of generating our business idea. So the whole purpose to think in a structure or a framework to look at what could be the business idea, which would be the viable business idea. Yes, Pratham. Great. As you have the pen paper, you had already thought of something, you have looked at the problems, we had already discussed about that. If you can just try to put your thoughts into one perspective, one sentence, I will help to whom, right? As an individual. And those people, what problems they are having, what challenges they are facing. So, whose problem is that? What sort of services are the product I'm going to provide? It could be the knowledge, skill, product, service, and so that they can means what is going to happen if they are going to get that problems and creating a sustainable impact. So I'm going to stop over here for a minute, and I will urge each one of you, if you can just write your mm, first sentence based on this framework. And it might be the first step towards the business idea generation. What business I can offer. If anyone need more clarity, you can put it at the chat box, or if you want to open up, we can certainly try to provide more clarity. I help to whom? And to whom, like who are those people who are struggling with? What solutions I'm going to provide, right? And then if they are having those solutions, how their life is going to be changed. Please give it a try, and we'll wait for a minute over here. Wow, Geeta is already done. Thank you very much, Geeta ji. If you want to just unmute and share, please do that. We will be happy to hear you. Vidya is also done.
Hello, sir. So far, it's been very interesting and lot of insights. I will help youngsters. That's my first answer.
Great.
Who struggle with their soft skills or
Wonderful.
skills by providing training so that they can scale up in their careers.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Very well said, Geeta ji.
This is something I'm seeing very regularly, sir, the skill gap.
Right. Country has a huge problems as far as skill mismatch or the gap is concerned. You are absolutely right.
Thank you.
May I request if Vidya ji, Kiran ji, if you can also share, please.
Yes, I can start.
Please.
I'll tell you the reason I stay in Bangalore and we struggle with waste management. So, uh, I want to help waste segregation and recycling uh, who struggle with managing the waste in the community level. Like in Bangalore, that's the biggest issue. By providing knowledge and solution, which seems to be, I think, not very clear at this point of time, as per my awareness, so that they can proceed with ease and keep the city clean while creating a sustainable impact.
Wonderful. And with a sustainable income also.
Yes, true.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Uh, anyone else would like, Kiranji?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I live in Mumbai and I have been teaching travel and tourism for about a year now. So I find because of being so digitally connected, people are not able to sometimes talk on a one-to-one basis. So I'm encouraging my current students also to speak within the family, that is connection within the family, where they are comfortable, where they can fumble, where they can make mistakes. And I'm encouraging to talk amongst their peers as well, means keeps the phone aside and have a actual conversation with family, with friends. And then thereafter, whenever they venture out to work or they're going for an interview or something, they will find some confidence to speak and present themselves. So I'm trying to inculcate that even via whatever I'm teaching, because with so much of AI and digital technology, the real thing, that is the real conversation, feeling of connection is that's what I find missing. Many things are getting conveyed or moving faster, but the broken connectivity is showing somewhere. And then when suddenly they need to speak or present themselves, they are finding that, oh, okay, I'm not able to put my point across. So
True.
trying a small way over there, and then I still want to build on that further. Thank you.
Please. Thank you very much. That was good to hear. Vijay is also saying, as a human resource professional practitioner, I can help with public speaking and skills are in demand. Mentoring and managing people, relationship, and compliances. That's perfectly fine. Great idea. And people are looking forward to paying for these services for sure. It's in huge demand. Good. So I think we did our first attempt, and at least I'm happy things are working out for us. Pratham, can we move to the next slide, please? Great. So here I just park it for our own perspective. Help rural women entrepreneur who struggle to access market by providing digital market linkages and business support so that they can increase income and build a sustainable livelihood. We see there are different clusters across the countries. There are women who are involved in making a beautiful product, a very unique product, etc. But how we can take that product to the market? We know, like Amazon and other supply chain players are playing their role, but the people at the rural India are still at a distance, right? And there also we have a huge opportunity. So from the technology, digital supply chain, like solving the larger problem, which is the jobless growth or having the every individual a sustainable income. I just park that. Yeah, Pratham, next please. Great. So now I want you to just write three business idea you feel like might good to explore for you as an individual. So each one of you, if you can write on your notepad, what would be the three business ideas you will look forward to taking up? Also, there are people like Vijay who had already done enough work and concluded like this is the one I'm going to do. That's also absolutely fine. But when it comes to the generating the business idea, at least we need to have 3 to 5, 2 to 3 minimum, so that we can evaluate based on the different perspectives, different scenario, and most important from the sustainability and the income generation perspectives. So that was the whole purpose for this. Uh, are we done? Geeta ji is done. Hope the question is clear. I'm looking forward just uh, pushing you a little bit to just think what could be the three possible social enterprise idea for me to look into. Bija is already mentioned establishing GCCs, total reward philosophy development. Interesting. What is the full form of GCCs, Vijay ji, if you can put, just for my own clarity? Geeta ji is saying HR process audit firm. Interesting, a lot more in demand, a lot more to be done. And global
Madhubanji, that
category.
will be global capability centers, global
Very
capacity
interesting.
centers.
Thank you very much. And Vijay ji, you feel like that's not there, and why you think that would be in a great demand?
Because I see a lot of companies right now across the globe want to create those kind of centers in
Great,
places which is cost effective for them and also where the resources are available, both
great.
cost effective
Thank you
and the
very much.
resource availability.
Right. Vidya is saying the financial literacy for women and young adult. Vidya ji, we have a great program on that, and if you are fine, we can together build those solutions. We are already doing a bit of work on that area, so we will be happy
Oh,
to collaborate on that account.
yeah. Can I connect to you offline later?
Please, 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 please do that. We will be happy to work on that.
Thank you.
And also,
Thank you.
like I would have said it towards the end, but as a social entrepreneur facilitating the different enterprise creation, I'll be more than happy to work with you people at whatever little bit I can contribute. So that goes without saying. Kiranji is saying making a communication skills mini courses for different organizations and colleges in Mumbai. Very good. Skill development center, etc. So good. At least we have few business ideas which is in our mind. Pratham, can you move to the next, please? Thank you. And once we have this 2 to 3 business ideas, it's very important to validate the business idea from different perspectives. So that's where the next step comes up, how we can validate the business ideas, because businesses are not created on our wish, right? I had already said, businesses are for the market to solve the larger market problems, right? To capitalize on the opportunities which is coming up, to build upon our knowledge and experiences. It's not like what we thought, I'll just go and start something. So the validation is very, very important. Yes, Pratham. Pratham? Wow. So just a question, why most ideas fails? Why most businesses fails? Any quick thoughts, quick points, quick reflection? Demand and supply gap, Geeta ji is saying. Not consumer customer centric enough. Very good. Interesting point. Giving up too soon. Yes, enterprise is all about persistence, doing the same things every day without getting any motivation, support, etc. Validation and ground reality. Sometimes we don't know what is the ground situations. Aren't solving are five problems that someone is willing to pay for. Very interesting, Shara, because if someone is not paying for your product or services, then it becomes very, very challenges. Need a validation, product, market fit. Very interesting. Good. Yes, Pratham. Right. So what is the message here, Kiranji? If you can read what is written in red, you are on mute. If you can unmute yourself, please.
People build solutions before understanding the problem.
Understanding the problem.
Right. So what is the message over here?
The answer is ready even before we've understood what it is catering to.
Right. So we have to keep that in mind, right? And this is just one perspective from the problem perspective, right? So we should not be just jump upon building the solutions. We have to really do our deep dive, talk, understand who will pay, why this problem is bigger, why I need to get into it, what is my knowledge skills, what is my capacity to mobilize the resources. So I'm just putting from that perspective. Obviously, Jyoti ji is saying the lack of financial and resources with one mindset. That's true, Jyoti ji. But at the same time, I keep on asking how much money you need. People, entrepreneurs say, right? I'm not building a business because I don't have that financial resources. My immediate question goes, how much money you need? Right? Tell me on day one. And then the story begins. They are not in position to talk about that. That's where the entire business planning exercise comes up. Yeah, Pratham. Right. So from the business idea validation perspective, these are the four layers. And uh, so one is, do people actually face this problem? Obviously, some problems are very evident problem. Some problem we will just keep on the surface problem, right? Why a young boy is working, selling a water bottle in a local train? From a very, very urban mindset, we would be looking at, wow, why this is happening? The guy is really struggling. The parent has nothing to do, right? That's very emotional pitch, emotional aspects. But it's very important to really go deep and understand why this is happening, right? So, what sort of problems? What is the actual problem? The second is, do they really care about this problem? Right. The third is, are they already spending time or money in terms of trying to solve the problem? Because people will only go out and pay for that product or services if they can't do it, or it's not already existing, it's not available. Even if it's available, it's not affordable. Even if it's affordable, it might not be accessible, right? So there would be different factors why people will opt or pay for that product or services. And would they try your solutions, whatever you are building? So whatever ideas we are having, we have to will use one more matrix, but it's very important to do a idea validation. And we should be giving a lot of time and emphasize before we come to the idea number one. Can we move on? Yes, Pratham. Again, just a very, very simple framework from just a three perspective. We talk about the five conversations. Five conversations means you go and talk about your problem, like about your idea, right? To whom you will talk? You talk to your first husband or wife. You talk to your children. You talk to your in-laws. What is their immediate response? You talk to your neighbor, you talk to your buddy, you talk to a stranger, right? That is the first aspect. Then you go and talk to the potential customer. You feel like they might be look forward to having those kind of solutions, or they might be also struggling with those problems, right? Who could be the actual beneficiaries of that solutions we are trying to, or the idea we are building upon, right? And then the community members as a larger society. We can, I just park three questions. We can have five questions, 10 questions. What is your biggest challenge, right? What is the problem they are facing? How do you currently solve it? What is the source? How the problem is being solved? What is the frustration they are having? It could be the cost, it could be the like price, it could be the affordability, it could be the availability, it could be the timely getting a response on that account. What are the interesting factors on that? And then we have to go and talk to the real people who are suffering. So from the problem interview perspective, just a thought provoking, just go and talk about it, right? Even in your family. So what do you think? And then you just आग लगा के बैठ जाओ, and then just listen to them what people are saying. Some will say, hey, it's bullshit, no point talking about it. Some people will say a lot more sufferer. Some people will say, hey, I also suffered with the similar kind of problems, right? And then that's where we can get into a validation. And the last stage is comes to the like piloting those ideas, right? So the important is that if it's consulting services, training services, as Vidya was saying, Gita was mentioning too, can I find just one boy, two girls, three adolescent, right? And whatever I'm thinking, I work with them a week's time, right? And that's how the validation will comes up. What is going to be the response? Whether I'm able to solve the problem, whether the problem is really bigger, whether my idea will work, whether it is exciting as much, where parents are coming forward and asking for sustainable solutions or the sustainable engagement. So we have to think from these perspectives on that account. So the entire purpose is to test before investing significant time or money or the resources, because building a business is not easy. It takes a lot of time, energy, efforts, resources. And if we fail, then we doesn't fail as an individual. We fail as a family. We fail as a society. So there is a lot more risk. And from that perspective, it's very important to do the validation again and again and ask a variety of questions to the stakeholders. Yes, Pratham. It is the case, but because looking at the watch, we don't have much of the time. If needed, I can share it to the all of you, and then you can run through it. Pratham, I would like to go to the next, please. Right. So just a quick thought. So now I had asked you to put your three business ideas, right? Not necessarily because we haven't done the validation, etc. But the whole idea is how we can funnel it down, right? How we can do the entire validation and move from three to one, right? And this validation will also tell us from if we are preparing our business plan, whether it's viable, whether I will be able to earn whatever I'm expected to earn, whether I have the capability to mobilize the resources, whether problem is really as large as I was thinking. Are people willing to pay for it? Am I going to get a support or able to build the entire ecosystem for this idea? So from that perspective, it's very, very important, right? So you can build on, you can take these cases and examples, analogy, and work towards that and finalize your own business idea, social business idea, or whatsoever. Yes, Pratham. Right. This is the last part in terms of synthesizing the entire process. Once we know, like we have done the entire process, and now we are very, very confident, like this is the business idea. This is the social business idea. I'm going to take it, right? And this business idea comes at the front, right? I am ready to put everything aside and take this business idea, take this baby, work with it 24 by 7, right? Entire month, 1,000 hours, right? So that it becomes a viable business idea. Yes, Pratham. So this is how you would have already heard of people normally say, "एक minute में अपना idea बताइए." What is your idea, right? So this is what is the framework. You can look at this framework. It's a 60-second impact pitch framework. Very simple. My name is this. What problems are I'm going to solve? What challenges I'm going to address? Who does it affect? Who are the people who are suffering? This will impact how it's going to impact to those people. What is the solutions I had already worked on? How my social enterprise provide what specific services, whether it's not available in the market, whether it's not affordable in the market, whether it's not available when you want, right? Or the problem is so bigger, what impact I'm going to create and how it's going to help to the larger community or the good number of people. And then what is your next step and what you are really looking into. The whole idea behind like taking this step and finally talking about your idea to the people. One, get the validation, right? Get a conviction whether you are able to communicate your business idea, the problem, the solution, right? The revenue, the impact, anything and everything the way it needs. How it helps? It helps to build the first customer. It helps to find the co-founder for the business. It helps to find the investor for your business. It helps to convince a few people who will come and work with us as an ecosystem, as an enabler. It will help us as a sounding board. They will go and start talking about like someone is trying to build it. So this is the conclusion. Yes, Pratham, next. I'll move. So this is what I had written for Anita. You can, if I may request Kiranji to just read it for everyone, it will be easy. You are on mute. If you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, my name is Anita, and I am a former HR professional with over 12 years of corporate experience. During my career break, I observed that many educated women struggle to restart their careers after marriage, motherhood, or caregiving responsibilities. To address this challenge, I'm developing a career re entry and entrepreneurship platform that provides coaching, training, mentoring, and peer support. My goal is to help women regain confidence, rebuild professional identity, and create sustainable income opportunities. I'm currently validating the concept by engaging with potential participants and ecosystem partners and look forward to building a community that empowers women to return to economic participation with confidence.
Thank you very much. So it's very similar kind of a statement what we are trying to do over here, right? But it's all about how we can put it into a perspective and talk about it, right? So people will get to know at what stage you are, what you are really looking into, whether it's exciting. And business is all about like how we can communicate to the rest of the market, rest of the people with the same intent, same mindset, talking about the intensity of the problem, the greatness of the solutions, and the revenue generation, why customers need to pay for it. Yes, Pratham. Right. So if we will look at the entire what we had already talked about, so first we started discovery when we are trying to talk about the what problems is really mattering to us, the community is facing, the people are facing. Then it's all about designing solution, profitable solutions on that account. The next goes to the validation. Do people really need these services? Is there enough demand so that I will be able to build the entire business model? How I'm going to position or talk about you? Why Kiran is doing this, right? Why people will believe on Gita or Vidya or Madhuban when I'm going to talk about this, right? So a belief system also comes up because when we are at the initial stage of building our businesses, obviously while people will look at you as an individual, because it takes a lot to build the credibility or the brand image in the market, people will also look at the startup solution. So it goes hand in hand. So in some cases solutions should be so smart, so strong, market will look forward to taking that solutions, right? Another cases, it could be an entrepreneur who is trying to solve that problem, and entrepreneur has already established his or her credibility to the people in the ecosystem, to the market, right? So it's very easy to convert and build the entire business model. And last but not least is how I'm going to pitch and talk about the our business scenario or the business model. Yes, Pratham, next please. And this is going to be the last slide from my side. So uh, you can already see it's all about taking the first step. All of us are having a great experiences, great knowledge, great wisdom, good resources, either our own resources, our ability to mobilize those resources, but it's all about taking the first step, right? Again, don't wait for the perfect idea. Nothing is perfect, right? But a validation is very, very important. Funding you will never have. We will never have that money which will help us or motivate us to start our business. Hey, I have enough money now and I can easily go and burn that money in the market. That's never going to happen. The perfect moment also never comes up. जिस दिन आप सोच लेंगे उसी दिन perfect moment हो जाता है, right? And then it's all about start thinking, talking about the problems and what unique solutions you are going to build. Uh, we need to take a baby step and on that account. So with this, I care about this problem and I'm willing to do something about this problem is going to be a very strong conviction when it comes to building a social enterprise. I think I am just on time as far as the time was allocated to me. Thank you very much. In the given time, this is what I could share a little bit of brief insights, a bit of what I had learned. Pratham, you may stop sharing if people have any questions, any clarifications. I'll be more than happy to talk about that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madhubanji. I think Vaishali has her hand up. Please go ahead, Vaishali.
Yeah, hello Madhubanji. Thank you for a very inspiring session. My question is, when you want to start, you have validated the idea. Then I started, and I think there was a lot of momentum and energy in the first 6 months. Post which, because of leads going down, the whole business or has lost momentum. So what do I do?
So I'll not give Gyan, madam here, very specific. Any business takes 3 years time, right? It depends on the business, the nature of business, the amount of investment you have made, the kind of product or services you are having, right? In the business, the keyword is the perseverance. We have to just use that word and be there in the market, right? It's very obvious to happen, right? When you start, momento is like obviously up. Hmm, our own as an entrepreneur, our family, our ecosystem, and the customers also. But over a period of time, it goes down. And from the product life cycle perspective, or the uh, life cycle perspective, like it will go down. And it's very important when you are towards the what we call it the death curve. On that, we have to really think of, and that's good to happen. And that's where we have to really look how what I can do more, how I can do better, why this is not picking up, why my customer number of customer is going down, right? So a lot of why and how will comes up. And if we are perseverance enough and trying to build our own resilience, uh, you will be able to have a better opportunities. So this is briefly I can talk about. It takes time as far as business sustainability is concerned. So
Okay.
we have to keep that in mind. Minimum 1 year to 3 years, we have to take that into the due consideration with the underlying statement, depending upon the nature of the business, the size of the business, investment you have made, the market traction, etc.
Sure. So what is it that you tell yourself to keep your motivation up in that 2, 3 years?
Wow, a difficult question to answer, but I think it's the purpose, right? Vivekananda keeps on saying, hmm, कि रुकना नहीं है, थकना नहीं है, सोना नहीं है, जब तक जो आपने सोचा हुआ है, जब तक वो अचीव नहीं हो गया है, राइट? अगर छोड़ ही दिया, रास्ता ही बदल दिया, तो आई थिंक देयर इज अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ मिशन ड्रिफ्ट. The conviction, the passion, and it would be a question mark. So I think as an entrepreneur, हर सुबह उठ के फ्रेश होके नहा के prayers करके we have to be on the business. That's the Gujarati Marwadi very typical way of doing into the business. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much, Madhubanji.
Okay. We are totally out of time. It's a great session, a lot of interaction. Thanks, Madhubanji.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful talking to very enthusiastic participants. And as I said earlier, we'll look forward to contribute in case anyone need any assistance.
Welcome, everybody. We are